Everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a 9-game NBA slate. This slate is just full of crazy because we got several teams that have a bunch of dudes out. We do have the return of Kevin Durant today, which is definitely interesting, but we have a lot of guys out. Durant should be on the minutes limit too, so that really makes the Suns kind of irritating. But with that said, let's get into the players. We do like the injury report first here. Before I do that, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? It really helps the channel. For the Bulls, Javonte Green is out. For the Pistons, Livers is doubtful. Duren, Stewart, and Cunningham are all out. For the Suns, Shamet and Ross are out. For the Hornets, Ball is done for the season. PJ Washington is doubtful. For the 76ers, Embiid is questionable. For the Heat, Lowry is out. For the Nets, Sumner and Simmons are out. For the Grizzlies, Adams is out. For the Rockets, Porter Jr. is questionable. For the Magic, Isaac is questionable. For the Bucks, Middleton is out. For the Lakers, LeBron, Davis, and Russell are all out. Excuse me. For the Thunder, Shea Alexander, Pokusevski, and Kendrick Williams are out. For the Pelicans, Zion, Nance, Alvarado are all out. Valanciunas is questionable, and Josh Richardson is questionable. And for the Timberwolves, Simmons, Nurkic, and Winslow are out. So we got a lot of guys out. We got a couple injury tags. Let's get into the players I do like, though. I'm going to start, actually, with the Los Angeles Lakers here. So they have their three best players out, essentially, today. And whoever ends up starting is going to definitely be in play today. And anywhere from Schroeder, Vanderbilt, Beasley, Reeves, Hachimura, Mo Bamba, and even Lonnie Walker. I think all those guys are potentially in play. I'm not sure that Trey Brown will likely start, so I'd probably pass on him. But I would say that if whichever the five starters are, you probably want to have a couple of those guys in your lineup today. Thankfully, this game starts at 8 o'clock, so we should hopefully get the information before the slate locks. Maybe. I mean, it may not happen, but it'd be nice if it does. So I just wanted to kind of incorporate all the players for the Lakers. Honestly, I could have done a similar thing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they're obviously priced a little bit differently, so not as ideal. But both those teams have a lot of dudes out today, and so does Portland. So lots of craziness, and the Pelicans too. As for the guys I do like today, we're gonna start with Giannis at $12,300. Obviously, he's been super expensive, but he continues to have mammoth games. Yeah, I had a couple games due to injury at before the All-Star, and then after the All-Star that he didn't play many minutes. But as long as he doesn't get hurt, he'll put up big numbers day in and day out, and he'll get close to triple doubles a lot of times. And he'll play around 30 or so minutes. So I think he's a good play on the slate, especially with so much value available. You're going to want to probably pay up for some guys. Then we're going to look at John Morant. I think he's in a great spot today. He's had some ups and downs. His price is a little bit high, but it's still lower than it has been for most of the season. He's been staying over 10,000, so as long as when he's under that, he's definitely somebody you have to consider. And he's in a nice plus matchup against Houston, which he absolutely just crushed the first time he played them for 73 points this year. 73 fantasy points and 46 real points. So we could see something like that again. CJ McCollum also looks interesting for the New Orleans Pelicans, especially considering that a lot of guys are still questionable there. If those guys get rolled out, he will definitely become a near must-play on the slate. Then we're going to look at Terry Rozier for the Charlotte Hornets at $7,200. He is going to be now the de facto starter for them. He does have a tough matchup against Phoenix, which is a little bit of a concern today, but and his price is actually pretty much what it's been anyway, so it will probably rise as he goes forward because he'll have some 40 fantasy point games and stuff with the LaMelo out, but I look for him to be an interesting play today, but not a must play simply because of the matchup. Then Gordon Hayward, he's kind of in a similar situation. He's got a tough matchup today, but if PJ Washington does get fully ruled out, he will definitely become a better play. He's got a lot more usage lately due to the fact that they've had injuries and traded some guys away. Lou Dort looks like a really good play today. Of course, he looked like a good play the other day and didn't do all that great, but he has nice upside, and with all the guys out for them, his price is still pretty good. He's definitely worth a look, especially in a matchup against the Lakers, who really just don't play any defense at all anymore, and none of their good players are even available today. Then we're going to look at Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. Since he's come back from injury, he's had 3 straight games of 29 fantasy points or better. He's still a little bit too cheap for his potential here. He's been pretty solid throughout the season when he's played, and I look for him to be another good option today. And then we're going to look at James Wiseman for the Detroit Pistons. Now, you could probably look at a couple of different guys here. You do want to make sure that he ends up starting, but as long as he starts, he's in play today. He's not a must-play, but he's viable on the slate with the injury situation there in Detroit. Makes him look very interesting, especially against the Bulls. And then Matisse Thybulle for Portland. He looks pretty interesting if he starts. You want to make sure he starts, but he should. He's been playing 25 to 30 minutes a game the last 4 or 5 games since he's been starting, and as long as that continues, he should be a player that you have to consider in your roster. I'm sorry, the last 30 games with Portland. That's what I meant. He started those games due to the injuries that they have. So as long as he starts, he's going to be somebody worth consideration. His price has not come up as much as I expected it to. As far as other players, it seems like the slate has a lot of guys overpriced. Obviously, Kevin Durant's going to be on a minute limit, so you don't really want to use him. But as far as other expensive players, I mean, you can make a legitimate reason for a lot of them. So kind of just pick and choose which of the value plays that you like, and then pay up for whoever you like the best there. I do want to break down each individual guy here. Dennis Schroeder should be a starter. He's played pretty good with LeBron out the last 2 games, and I look for him to continue to do that and take more offensive role now that Anthony Davis is out as well. His price is just too cheap for his potential, assuming he starts. Jared Vanderbilt, he should start today and he really should have a big game, but he's been a little bit inconsistent since he joined the Lakers, which is a little bit surprising. And his price has also popped up, but this is a better matchup. He shouldn't have too much trouble in this game, and I think he'll have a good opportunity for a big game. Then we'll look at Malik Beasley. If he does start, which he should start today, he's priced right about where I thought he should be. So he's not a must-play by any stretch, but he is a decent play as long as he continues to be in that starting lineup. Austin Reeves is somebody that you could take a look at today with both Davis and LeBron out, and also their point guard Russell out. He's played pretty good off the bench in games, and he's actually played pretty good when he does manage to get in the game for a good amount of minutes. So if he does start, he's definitely somebody to consider. And then Rory Hakamura, he might join the starting lineup today. It's hard to be for sure. If he does, then he would be somebody that would be interesting. If he doesn't, and they, maybe put Mo Bamba in, then Mo Bamba would be somewhat interesting. So there's a lot of potential here with this team. Actually, I meant to talk about Lonnie Walker as well. If he was to join the starting lineup, he would definitely be interesting as well, though he might end up coming off the bench in this one. And if he does, he still has potential, but I don't really like him as much as I like some of the other options. So with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. It is a crazy slate, so do tread lightly. I'm not going to play a ton of different things. I'm pretty light today. But with so many teams having a bunch of guys out, it's going to be really hard to go crazy here. So thank you again for liking, commenting, subscribing, and have a nice day, guys.